That's I like that. I like that little intro. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello.
Didn't you say hello to that when we've been gone for a minute? You can't just say hello.
We have been gone for a minute.
Hey, since it's our show, Troy, you should have just hit him with niggas.
No, we understood. We reserved that.
But in this,
in this
instance, I think that would have been the perfect intro. Right there.
Intro.
Yeah, because that could have went a lot of many different ways.
Well, I mean, it's not like we don't have plenty of what's going on, with plenty to talk about. Once again, it's my man Shannon, my main guy Smitty.
What's up?
I am your intro dude, Troy.
Bring that back in one more time, Shannon. Bring that back in one more time. And Troy, bring us in right, man. Let's go. Start us from the top. Keep us rolling, though.
Just keep it rolling. I'm going to do the do-over.
Man, we've been going way too long. Here it comes. Let's go.
We have. People. Bruh. Y'all welcome. We are back. My man Smitty.
We ain't never left.
We ain't never left. We stepped away for a little bit. We let y'all run amok.
Right.
Y'all was out here running around unsupervised.
Amok. Running amok.
So now we're back. This is our first show in what? 5 months? 4 months?
5, 6 months.
It's almost 6 months. It's been has it? It's been a minute.
Yeah.
But hey, when we come back strong. As always, for y'all who don't know, the third show is the creation of these three brothers who have put their minds together and came up with some stuff so we can run our mouth and call people out, call out situations, talk about things that we feel that definitely need to be talked about. Even if y'all don't think so, right. Even if y'all don't agree, I think we're going to make you think about some things and look at things
a
little different.
I want to say this. Like Troy's always diplomatic and political when he says things, and since we've been taking our little hiatus like a grizzly bear, right? Now we hungry.
We've been hibernating? Is that what it is?
Hibernating, trying to get some of this COVID fat, right?
Man, that explained my beard. Okay.
There we go. And so just to really touch on, like Troy said, we this came about organically, to say some things, to ask some questions, to stimulate your mind. And then now we got to really understand this. You got to stop waiting for people to do things. You got to stop waiting for action to happen. We personally, us three, just implemented ourselves into the society. Like we didn't wait, yes. And some people don't like that. They wanted to still run bureaucracy and wait for this and wait for that and do things. We just did it. And from our very first show to where we are today, I can honestly say us three have put ourselves in positions within this community, in the county as a large, and then even a little bit outside of that community, just because we took the initiative to do it, to make sure that someone is being held accountable. So that's all. You can't wait, people. You ain't got to wait for nobody to sign your check. Just go sign your own damn check.
We as a people need to understand that we can no longer ask, in our community, we can no longer ask for permission. We don't need to.
Nope.
We're strong enough. We're capable. We need to recognize that from ourselves. Not wait for nobody to tell us. Like my brother Smitty was saying, we don't need nobody to tell us. We don't have to ask for permission. Go ahead, Shannon.
Yeah, you know what? Both you brothers, while we've been gone, we've been on our little hiatus. We've been busy, but we've been on our hiatus. I think we've all grown too. We've all grown to see different things and approach things differently. Whereas before,
we'll see.
Oh yeah, well, I think we have. There's always accountability factor. Have things changed? Will I call people out? I most definitely will call people out constantly. I'm going to continue to raise that awareness and set that bar higher. You know,
You know, we've grown and we've matured, but me personally, I'm still the king of petty. So, all transparencies, I'm broadcasting live from my grandson's room, and about being petty and about don't wait. You know, this whole CRT has been clickbait for a little while now,
Oh
right?
my gosh.
Race theory, and we're gonna talk about some positive things. But hold up, man.
Hold on. Yeah, just okay. Go ahead.
Hold on. Before we gonna get some positive, but to the point about doing your own thing and stop waiting for people to okay you and inviting them to your table, man. So look, in my grandson's room, we got the cat in the hat. Oh wait, hold on. We got the cat in the hat, right? We got one fish, two fish. That's just to make it look nice. That's just, we don't really read that in this house, you know, because we're more or less like, we do things like Black heroes. You know what I'm saying? So again, don't wait. You ain't gotta wait. Just do what you want. You do what you want. So basically, the cat in the hat and stuff like that, we just use to make like tents, and then he runs them over with his tractors and stuff. You know, it's the good books we save for making sure he understands and learns what needs to be learned. So yeah, my pettiness is not going away. I'm matured a little bit, but sorry, Shannon.
No,
Yeah, shut all that down.
Yeah, and you know what? And I'm glad you brought that up because it brings up another point. Me and Troy had this conversation. I called him, and I see what's been going on with our community. You know, all the stuff in the media, everything is being brought up about this conflict over in Ukraine and Russia. And I actually had to ask, you know, I called Troy, I said, Troy, so is this stuff with our current president Biden actually factual? You know, because we know media constantly will play to one side of the political party.
Mm-hmm.
So after doing some more digging and research, you know, and the reason I bring up the conflict in Ukraine is because eventually, as bad as our president can sit here and lie to everybody and say we won't get involved and we won't send troops, it'll be our Black brothers and sisters that are first that's going over there. And we need to take that into account.
There was a I'm gonna send it to y'all. There was a post somebody had put up. A brother who actually lives in the Ukraine. He was like, I'm not finna go fight. There's no point in me going to go fight. I get out there in the front lines, I pick up a gun. I'm a Black dude out there. I'm the first person they shoot. And so the comedy behind that was because he was cracking up. He was like, there's no way in the world I'm going out there. Y'all tripping. But if you bring that back home, it's the idea of no matter where we go, we're always that threat. We always have that in mind of, you know, we're going to be a Black guy with a gun is the first dude to get shot.
Always.
No matter what happened, no matter what the conflict is, you get some dark skin with a gun.
Yeah, it used to be if two Black guys were together, it's a gang. Now they just put that shit to one. If there's one Black guy, it's a gang, man.
They're like, he's a gang member.
Yeah.
Go get him. Go get him. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what? If you guys have been following the media, like with NATO, they said we will. And I'm sitting back thinking to myself, we ain't got nothing to do with this. And I hope the rest of the Black brothers and sisters agree. We can sit back and watch. This is their conflict. This has nothing to do.
I was going to say this, man, because
go ahead.
I think you're right, Shannon. And I know our show goes a whole bunch of different ways. So if y'all just new to our show, you know, we're talking about politics and Biden right now, but we might be talking about pineapple upside down cake by the end of the show. So just stay tuned.
Yeah, just stay along, hang along for the ride.
Stay, hold on tight. That's all. Hey, we'll get to something you like. But I was telling my son this, and it's like as Black folks, it's looking at Ukraine and what's going on there, and the words that's coming out of Putin's mouth, right? Of course, there's two sides to every story. Putin's going to say it his way. Ukraine's going to say it their way. you know. But at the end of the day, to your point, Shannon, this ain't got nothing to do with us at all. And I'm gonna keep it 1,000. It's not just it ain't got nothing to do with Black folks. It ain't got nothing to do with about 90% of the people in this entire world, because we just going along for the ride. What this is the top 1% of the 1% playing checkers with one another. That's all that is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And who suffers? The 90% of us. You know what I'm saying? And if we don't suffer with shellings, it being physically there, we suffer with high ass gas that's costing $10 a gallon, or, you know, some other shit that it affects Black folks to a certain extent, but it ain't got nothing to do with Black folks. It ain't got nothing to do with some damn white folks, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And honestly, and me bringing that up, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because it comes back. As you all know, election time will be upon us soon. And these politicians that we have in there, people need to be aware and start thinking about who they're going to really vote for. Because if we had strong politicians, our gas in California right now wouldn't be literally $5 a gallon for regular.
Well, hey, bro, you know you barking up my tree now. When we
First of all, okay. Now, let's get a couple of things straight. California gas is always the most expensive.
Always.
Which I really need someone to clarify how we live in Solano County. I can drive 10 minutes and literally look at 4 refineries.
Right.
Right there.
Right.
I can just go, okay, yep, that's the one who gave me my gas. Hey, that's where Shannon go. He get there from there. Smitty, that's one around the corner from his house. How is it? And yes, I understand there's emissions, there's this, there's that. But how is it that California pays more for gas than Utah?
Right.
So when I hear, hold on.
Okay.
Because when I hear other states start complaining about, oh my God, and we all hear it, even when gas was $3.50 and we were all happy, we have folks in other states complain, oh my God, this gas has gone up to $2.25. I'm looking at the TV like, if y'all don't shut up,
right?
I don't care. I don't care.
We got Valero, Texaco,
Exxon,
Conoco, Exxon, Shell,
Chevron, everybody right over here.
We have all of them within a 50-mile radius of us.
Could throw a rock and hit every last one of them.
Hold on, dog. Hold on. Then you go down off the shore of Southern California. There's some offshore drilling going on out there.
Oh my God, yeah.
You could take 5 down into LA and you see them little single oil pumps pumping. How we got transport problems to get? Why fuel gotta go?
Well, my uncle, hold on. When my uncle lived at Redondo Beach, I went down there to visit him one summer, and I walked out. When I first got there, it was at night, so I didn't really see a lot. We flew in late, but I walk outside the next morning. I look across the street, and there was a school there. And the back part of the school, that back fence, you know, where everybody used to go sneak and smoke cigarettes.
Of course. Were
2 oil dikes on the school grounds. And I'm thinking, how are we paying?
Well, hold on. First of all, why are we paying for that? And what the hell is that doing so close to a school?
To a school, no.
You know what I'm saying?
Literally, I'm telling you. If somebody would have hit a home run, that ball would have rolled and hit one.
Right?
You know what's really bad about this? And idiocracy. That'll be the word for the day. Idiocracy.
Wow.
And it's all these people who don't have cars that want to be healthy and ride bicycles that go out and vote these stupid ass taxes in, because it doesn't affect them.
Absolutely.
And then we sit back, we eat the burden, and then we have our government telling us we'll use the tax to fix the roads. We got some of the shittiest roads in California
Ever known as game.
Yeah. So what roads are being fixed? And matter of fact, our city council.
The roads suck. and you fired all the toll takers when COVID started, so you're not paying them anymore. That's $35 an hour that you done freed up. No telling how many you fired. So where's
Hundreds
the
of
money
millions,
going?
that's
Where's
it.
the money? Where's the money for tax and roads and infrastructure from the lottery and from the Obama infrastructure plan? Where's all this money at, man? Because California roads suck ass.
Well, you know what? Go ahead. Well,
No, I was just going to say, and I remember going to a city council meeting because they come through every year and they repay. Instead of doing the job the correct time, the first time through, they use the cheapest contractor they can find with the cheapest material. It's supposed to be tar out in front of my house, asphalt. I got used tires.
Well, hold on.
And it breaks off in chunks.
They did not. What they did was they resurfaced it with a slurry. That's what they did. They resurfaced it with a slurry. All slurry does is fill cracks. And then once it fills that crack, it'll flatten out and smooth it. So that's what they did. And you're right. They used the cheapest contractor going because they did a shitty ass job. That's just my 2 cents. But really quick, what I was going to say was just about the whole gas thing and it not affecting just Black folks, how it affects everybody because it's rich people playing Monopoly. Because that's what it is. Let's think about this. It's rich people playing Monopoly. They just doing it in a certain part of the world, right? So if you was really serious, because we're concerned about Ukrainians, that's what people say, we're concerned about them, then why is it Shell, that's right, Shell company, Shell Oil, just purchased fuel from Russia? They just gave them money to purchase some fuel. And then Shell's going to try to save face and say, oh, well, whatever money we make, we're going to give it to the Ukrainians. If you was really about stopping something, then it'd be all hands on deck and then you stop it. We're in a time right now, and I hope everybody sees this. It's big bank take little bank. It's rich people playing Monopoly Battleship. That's what's going on. And the people like us and the 90% of humans, not just Blacks, but 90% of the humans are the one that's affected day to day.
And keep in mind, because we can't let it go unknown, that their orange-faced daddy is still in the mix of that.
Still blowing whistles.
I'm sorry, who?
The orange face.
Orange face. Okay, I didn't hear exactly what you said. Only thing I heard at the end of that was daddy. But
yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know what? Some people, they still out here. So with everything that's taking place since we've been gone, you see him out here still running around with them Trump flags. He literally brainwashed, and actually he created a brand new cult. Trump did. Honestly, I take it off. Hats off. Trump did it. He came in and gangstered his way into the White House and then turned around and created a brand new cult.
So I wouldn't say he created a brand new cult. I'll say he already took what was there and he just molded all the shit that the worst of people and then put it on display for the rest of the world to see. You know what I'm saying?
What he did was, you know how when you go out and you always got, you go out, you're hanging out, everybody's cool, and then all of a sudden somebody start drinking. And once they start drinking, all this stuff start coming out. And we've had them at the family dinners, at the family picnics. They start talking about their cousin back in '84. They're talking about their auntie, what she did with the football team when she was in high school. All this stuff starts to come to the surface. Mm-hmm. And you're right, like you said, it's always been there. Mm-hmm. I was talking to somebody the other day, and the key to Trump's victory and his longevity, and you're right, Shannon, we got to tip our hat to him. He's found something, he's found his niche, and is riding that piece out. But he's doing it in areas of people who have, and this is the part of the show where we start offending people.
There we go.
His main base are those who are who don't have a higher education. His main voters are the Bible Belts, the sun, the Deep South,
Mm-hmm.
and you can go to an education guide or whatever it's called that gauges education throughout the country. Every state that he wins are those states with the lowest education.
Well, I want to add this caveat. I was talking to a gentleman I work with, and he shared with me. He's Caucasian. He's super cool. You know, it's not I hate all white folks. And so, you know, he was telling me like, yeah, you know, he was telling me.
Hold on, real quick. I heard a great quote. Somebody said, "White folks as individuals are fantastic."
Outstanding.
I mean, one of my best friends for the last 30 years is a white dude.
So you
Boy.
gotta quantify it. You know, hold
on, wait. But the other end of that is, but as a group, y'all problem.
That's where I was going. I could almost equate that to, I could probably live with one cockroach. I probably could. But I'm not living with more than 2 cockroaches.
You're stupid.
That's what happen. You know what I'm saying?
You're dumb for that.
So to my boy. So anyway, he was telling. So his mother-in-law, who was white, was totally against Trump. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Until like right before the election in 2016, Trump went and doubled down and said, "If I'm in, I'm going to support pro-choice for abortion."
Mm-hmm.
That changed her mind because she's a devout Catholic. So she may not agree with the politics,
pro-life,
but the religious part she can get with. You see what I'm saying? So I think you got to be careful when we say all of these people who voted for Trump applaud his politics, right?
No, they don't.
Right. So we got to understand this. There's allegedly supposed to be this division, this curtain to separate church and state, supposedly, allegedly, but we all know that doesn't exist. So once you play that card, I'm going to put this abortion case in, or I'm going to move this abortion case. Now you start getting those religious folks on your side, and that can change the whole dynamic of your outcome. So I think we just got to be careful that all of those 80 million people that voted for Trump weren't necessarily Trump supporters or Trump favors of his politicians. There was probably religious folks who thought, because you can't tell me this. I'm sorry, and I'm gonna say it again. You can't tell me this. You can't tell me any woman in her right mind who loves her gender can support Trump after how he abuses women. I just don't. You can't tell me you agree with his politics. You cannot.
You can't. And it's not. It's not.
Yeah, it's the play on words. Keep in mind, our black people, our black brothers and sisters, a lot of them, and I know I've down a good majority of them for being, and I've called them house niggas and everything else up under the sun.
Not Shannon. No.
So my thing is this.
I told you this is the part where we start offending people.
Yeah, we're about to offend a lot of people. They are uneducated. We have and this isn't just one race. This is a bunch of races that are very uneducated. Trump at one time said, and I've had this argument with people who said, "Oh, Trump's not a racist." He made a comment, "I am the least racist person in this room." He never once said that he wasn't racist. He said he was the least.
That tells you about the other people in the room.
Yeah.
Other people in the room.
If you talk to Steve, that dude, wow.
Go ask Steve about how many black friends he got.
None.
So
none.
And that goes back to that point of dry snitching. He just told you everybody in the room with him
is racist. He's just the least of them. And this is the other thing.
You know what Trump do? Trump that cat. You know what? Hey man, I don't really care for the cat, but he's comical in his life because he's just a buffoon.
He's a hoot.
But the guy is comedy day after day, because to Shannon's point, if you make a comment and you're sitting in the Oval Office with a bunch of people and you say, "I am the least racist person in here," you're throwing some cats under the bus, because if I was him and you know my level of pettiness, I'd be like, "You know how many niggas I let fight in my hotel?"
Yeah.
Right now. Or I'm pulling one of these. I'm least?
Least.
Huh. Who we talk? Him?
Tom, stand up.
Because everybody kind of looked towards you, Tom.
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 Hey,
So you're the
and
maximum?
Now they got this game going around the Oval Office like who's the least racist.
Oh my God. Can you imagine that though? Everybody now is all of a sudden extra uncomfortable because everybody's like,
Oh,
Yeah.
Hey, everybody's trying to think of the name of that one black person they know.
And look at
Go
this.
going through their phone. Where's Jamal's number? Let me call him right now.
Oh,
And-
man.
And I
Where's
gotta
my
bring this
chauffeur?
up.
Chauffeur. Hey,
I gotta
Raquel.
bring this up because even with him saying that, and just to go to show you how people fool people with wordplay, without me ever mentioning, and we all know who I'll be speaking about, but without me mentioning that name, Trump's wife did the same thing. Elon, she took a speech and put it out there as her own. And then we come to find, it was verbatim Michelle Obama.
Oh, when she took Michelle Obama's speech. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. But see, in me going there is because Trump has created a book for certain people.
Absolutely.
And I see that book being played out by people who are supposed to be in support of us.
Yeah.
And meaning that, you know what, I can't even, I gotta go there. Because I keep seeing this politician in our community. It seems like I can't get away from him. I talked about him so bad on prior shows, but it seems like everywhere I go now, I'm bumping into this man. And I don't know if I really don't know what it's about. We're not cool with each other. I think,
Shannon, I think, I honestly, man, we live in a small town in comparison with others, right? We make enough fuss that a lot of people know us.
yeah,
Politicians don't necessarily agree with us. Some civic leaders don't necessarily agree with us. But again, like I've said before, if everybody liked us, we wouldn't be doing our job, right? And I think we done talked about a lot of stuff already. With 40 minutes into the show,
yeah,
and I want to make sure we get onto the positive note of how do we change some of these things that we just previously discussed, because we've been talking about these for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I don't want us to lose, our characteristics and goals,
right,
because of some other buffoons who can't get their head out of their ass. You know
So
what I'm saying?
so we become solutionitarians?
We become solutionitarians.
Wait.
Right?
Could you say that word again, bro?
Solutionitarians.
Unitarian. But
So
you can
that
eat meat.
theory-
Solutionitarians can eat meat. So y'all might want to jump on. We can do
Yeah.
this.
So while you're saying that word, solutionitarian, who actually made that word? Okay. Well, whoever. Look, it has the Tarians on the ends that sounds alienistic. Okay.
Alienistic.
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 Yeah. Sounds like there's some Martians running around. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so take the same word, libertarians. And we're just solutionitarians. Solutionitarian.
Sounds too much like vegetarian to me, but I'm gonna let you go with it. But so again, I want to make sure we on track. And I know many of you who watch this like, damn, Smith's trying to keep us on track. Yeah, I am.
Facts.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
matter of fact, Smith, before we even come up with a solution, and because you were there, and like I said, we don't have to mention no names, but what I brought up a topic, and it was based to be an eye opener. When we were coming back home, I asked a question. I posed a question.
Hold on. Make sure after you say what you say, you tell them we make sure we talk about where you just came from.
Okay. I posed the question how people felt about Timothy McVeigh.
Mm-hmm.
I got responses back that he was a coward.
Yep.
Because he killed a bunch of kids. My whole point is how America has brainwashed society into believing that what Timothy McVeigh done was an act of terrorism and cowardice. I was trying to open their eyes that what he did is just a product of what they developed. It's
Mhm.
what we do as a country. Our government does every day in other countries. And my thing is, if we can say it's okay to go in other countries and do this to women and children, why isn't it okay to do it here? Why are we not calling our government cowards? What they did at Waco, what they
Yeah.
did at Ruby Ridge.
Mhm.
You know, why aren't we looking at that as a whole? What we go over to other countries and destroy. We
Well,
want to go to
Shannon,
other countries and force
let me
them.
double down on that. And
Yeah.
Shannon's right. We had a great conversation where we all had to, in that van, accept differences, even though we all looked alike. Now let that sink in. We're looking alike, but we have differences. Yeah, white people, we have differences. We're individuals. But again, to Shannon's point, again, overlooked about the exceptionalism that the United States thinks it has. Because how can you, as a country, drop a nuclear bomb on another country to end a war, and then say, "Oh no, we can't do that no more. Nobody is allowed to drop a nuclear bomb now." Why? Because y'all did it and you've seen the effects and the outcome. Now you don't want it done to you. So yes, Shannon made a damn good point. But again, we've got to take some of these things as a whole, at the historical nature of everything, and kind of see how it's hypocritical, to Shannon's point, of how they could say one thing, but then they're actually doing something different. The great James Baldwin said, it's hard for me to believe what you say because I see what you do. You know what I'm saying? So that's America in a nutshell.
That's a good point, because there's that continued idealism of America's right.
Mm-hmm.
That no matter, and they, even with Ukraine, they want to say that, well, we're helping them because they're part of democracy. They're a democracy, a democratic nation. And to me, I can see that, because you want to be able to uphold democratic rules. You want fair voting. You want people to be able to make choices, not fall under someone like Pootie. But
Hootie Tang.
Hootie, listen to him talk. But this is my problem, though, because if we really wanted to help them, why haven't we already let them into NATO?
Oh, right.
Because I can say this, in the military speaking, if Ukraine was part of NATO already, Russia wouldn't do anything.
Absolutely.
Because they couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Because then everybody would be all in.
And that's, again, the devil in the details of what's going on right now over there. Is you have to know the details.
Yes, there's a lot of little ones.
Yeah,
there.
And I want to make sure we touch on what you instructed the good brother Shannon to talk about, or what we just not accomplished, but we embarked on. But I want to use this time to create that transition period. I know we said earlier about the upside down pineapple cake. We're going to transition right now and talk to some positive stuff, and how do we move on as Black folks and as human beings. But understand this about an upside down pineapple cake. Is, if you ever baked one, which I haven't, but I've seen my most beautiful baked one, you put all the good stuff at the bottom, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when it's done, you flip it over, and now you got all the good stuff on the top. That's kind of where we're at right now, as I look at politics and our movement, this 2.0 civil rights, social justice, whatever you want to call it. All our stuff has been on the bottom. All our good stuff has been over on the bottom. Now we need to flip it over and let all that good stuff be exposed. And how you do that, to me, starts with education. And Shannon, if you want to use that as a transition, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I like that, because education is key. Education, I feel, you know what, me and my brother Smitty just came back from a conference, nice 3-day conference. A radical imagination of Black male student success. I will tell you that education is key. I'm not saying you have to go out here and get a college degree, but I am saying you need to know your history. The only way we ever start to correct anything that's going on now, we need to always look back at the past. So we're not making the same mistakes. We're not allowing society to dictate to us, oh, this is the way it should be. You know, it's about us as a whole. I've always said that I will support any of my brothers and sisters. I'm proud to be a Black man, and I will stay that way. Some of y'all piss me off, yes.
That's true, Shannon. You gonna say that way, dog.
Yeah.
I will stay that way.
Yeah.
Me too.
I can't.
I just said me too.
I can't. You know what, man?
You stupid.
You know what? We have all this Black on Black crime, and we keep talking about how do we fix it? How do we solve it? The first thing, and I hate to say it, the first thing we need to do is us as Black men, we need to step up. White people, you guys need to step back. Allow us to deal with our own issues in our own community, because only us know the trauma and have experienced the trauma that these young men have went through.
Mm-hmm.
We're the solution right there. We're the ones that can go in and mediate and fix and correct a lot of these behaviors. If you guys step back, step out of the way, stop trying to come down the chain, figure out how to make money off of teaching equity and other bullshit that you really don't know what it is. You know, you out here quote, and it amazes me because I'm seeing it more and more. Dr. Kennedy Ibram wrote a book. You white people go grab this book and read it, and now you're not racist anymore. Mm-hmm. Bullshit. Get out of here with that. You're still a racist. You just trying to mask. Just because George Floyd.
Shannon.
Yeah.
My man, I gotta let you finish, but I gotta say this because it's a hell of a point you just made. Damn, bro, that's a hell of a point, and I hope people didn't miss that. The statement you just made, you said white folks are discussing equity.
Mm-hmm.
I
see what you did. I see what you did.
Yeah.
Right?
I see what you just did there.
What is your definition of equity? And you're going, how can you sit there and say, oh, these Black folks need this because then they'll be equitable to us?
What gives you the right? Who gave you the permission? What gave you the understanding? My brother Shannon said it. You have no idea what it means to be Black. So then, therefore, how can you discuss what will help a Black community?
Let me ask you this, guys. Let me ask you guys this question. Damn it, Shannon, bro. You might.
He did. I know he did. He did what he did.
And I want you to answer fairly. Swear to me. There's a lot of, and I'm going to be really specific right here, so I may piss some people off. There's a lot of white women who have children by Black men.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some of them are doing work in our community to try to help because they see what's going on with Black men. They fear that their biracial son or child may befall some of these issues. Here's the question. Do you think that white woman is doing it for the cause, the heart, truth cause of all Black folks, or for her child?
Her child.
To protect her child.
Well, this is one of those things. Look at it this way. The person that goes out and wears or gets decides to support a cause because of something that, say for instance, somebody has polio that no one has anymore, and then all of a sudden the next thing you know, they're all about polio because it directly affected them. Now, if you do have a mother who has a biracial child, I do respect that they took on that responsibility. Mm-hmm. Because they do understand how, and well, at least I'm hoping that they understood early by being with this Black man, my life is going to be this, this, and that.
Correct.
I'm going to lose these, and these people, excuse me, in my life because I followed my heart and I made a decision in order to be happy.
Mhm.
I found a man, and most sometimes the ones I don't like are the ones who found a black man, other than the ones who just found a man.
Got you.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
So the
Mhm.
ones who found a black man to fall in love with, those are the ones you can't trust those because one, they'll leave you to find another black man.
Got you. I see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll keep that in mind. But
But keep
those
in mind,
ones,
not to
hold
cut
on.
you off real quick, there was one thing that you just mentioned, and this is something that this goes to all white women who are with black men. And not to get off subject, this is a key point that you missed out on. When a white woman gets with a black man, gets in a relationship, has kids, they lose one of the main things that has kept them sane, which is privilege.
Privilege. I was going to say that, Shannon.
Privilege.
They have to understand they lose that part of privilege.
Well, no, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But that, I'm hoping that when you go into something like this, you understand. I did touch on those are the things that you lose. You know, you lose those things, and to some extent, they are worth listening to because they can describe privilege in the past that they had, as opposed to what their life looks like now.
Mhm.
And they have a very interesting perspective on that.
Mhm.
And that they will speak, you know, if you can get them to actually speak a truth, they will tell you, yes, I used to be able to do this, this, and this without anybody looking at me. I used to be able to go here, here, and there. But now, if I have my son or my daughter with me, I have to look at it differently.
Mhm.
I can't just go and socialize with my old friends anymore. We can't do this. I may end up getting pulled over. I have to look at the future of talking to my sister, whose whole family is all white, and having them understand when my son goes out, I have to look at it differently.
Right.
Because they may not come back the same.
And you know what? And I can say, and see, I can speak from actual fact and experience. Because my wife being white, I can speak. Even though her heritage is Italian, when she goes and fill out an application, there's no Italian box there. So we've been together a wonderful journey, a hardship journey of almost 15 years right now. We've had to fight. I've seen that privilege play in and out of our relationship.
Mhm.
We got pulled over. Here in Vacaville, where our former chief of police said there's no such thing as systemic racism. My wife got out the car, said, "Hey, can you give us a break?" Cop looked at her and said, "I'll give you a break. I'm not giving him one."
Real life shit right there.
Yeah.
Real life shit. But at the same time, my wife has had to deal with issues with Vacaville Unified because of our son
Mm-hmm.
being biracial, because of him being called this, because white kids running around here wanting to show their true colors.
Hold on. Running
No.
around them up. That's how Troy started the show. Running them up. They running them
Yep,
up.
running them up.
Running them
Running
up.
them up.
Hold on. I'm going to correct you real quick. It's not the kids showing who they are. The kids are showing who their parents are.
True. Bingo. True. And so to Smitty's question, I think when you have the right woman, the right white woman, they are committed to the cause because they experience everything that you experience in dealing with racist issues.
Right.
And they're down for that cause. I've witnessed my wife go to bat for me in dealing with issues of racism just in my own neighborhood. Now, keep in mind, I don't handle things according to the law, but I do handle them. We don't play
Hey,
them games.
hey, hey, Shannon, again, man, you always bring up something that sparks me because I hear words you say and how they come out. And I don't think other people really catch on to them. So, thank you for making that point because I think where we was coming from was, what you said about, white folks trying to discuss what equity looks like for black
Right.
folks or any, Asians or what have
Yeah.
you.
And never have anybody ever, never have, I'm sorry, Smith, my bad.
No,
I'm
bro,
so-
go ahead.
But never have a minority or a representative of whatever community they're trying to fix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
And,
that
and,
goes to the whole
and
point.
we
that
can
goes to the
we'll
whole-
back it up. I'm gonna back it
Yeah.
up a little bit. And we were talking about how we can't understand how women can support Trump. Because at the same time, these same women will support men who want to take away their right to choose.
Right.
And that's okay. But I also look at it as, well, that's what y'all used to.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all used to have, oh no, I'm gonna let my husband, I'm gonna let the men talk because that's what they're supposed to be doing.
Right.
And then the problem is they get that from the home and they think they can do that in the workplace. They can do that in society. Well, when it comes to, I'm gonna speak up for the African American community. I'm gonna speak up for the Hispanic community. I'm gonna speak up for the Asian community. And like you were saying,
Because this is what they want. This is what they want.
yes, this is what they want. I've talked to them. Shut up. But you haven't lived as one of them.
Right.
You have no idea what you're asking for.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know what?
Exactly.
And with that, I got a real quick solution how we start to fix this. Our city councils should represent our communities. So you should have at least one Hispanic who's about the community, one African American, one white.
Does he have to be 6'4"?
No,
Stop
he
it.
doesn't. No, he
Sure.
doesn't have to be
Stop it.
6'4". But here's my thing. You need to have, and when I say that, having somebody on city council that represents our community. Just because they look like us don't mean that they one of us.
Shannon,
Especially if they
I have
speak your language.
I have to play devil's advocate right here with you right now. Because I agree with you. We should have a reflection of the community serving on the city council or school board or whatever,
Yeah.
county supervisors. However,
Mhm.
I have to ask you this question. What if we don't want to participate? Us three see that. There's a lot of black folks and Asians
Thank
and Latinos who don't want to participate.
That's the devil's advocate I was gonna play.
And
Because we can sit here and say, hold on, we can sit here and say we need this and we need that and we should have this and we should have that. But the solution part of it is, are we gonna get up and go vote? Are we gonna get up and make sure that we're being represented on a consistent basis?
Are we gonna get up and go run? Are we gonna go run?
Or go
Are we
run? Are we gonna do the things?
campaign?
And matter of fact, if we don't get our way on this election, are we gonna say, oh well, and just not vote the next time?
So,
Or are we gonna make sure that we stay in this fight?
Troy made this point a couple shows back. Yeah, it's good to vote for the president, but that's the large picture. The president's actions really ain't got shit to do with our day-to-day lives, to be honest.
Really don't.
Where we really got to focus on is representatives of the House, the Senate, right? And then really bring it straight micro and go into your neighborhood.
yeah,
Because look at the people that affect your day-to-day life. First and foremost, it's the school board. They
Yeah.
dealing with your children. Then it's the planning commission, the zoning commission, because there's the one that allow the liquor stores to be in your neighborhood. You can run for those. You don't have to have a degree to be the fucking mayor. You don't have to have a degree to be on the school board. You don't have the PTA, they damn near begging for people to come join their little crew. You know what I'm saying?
and you know what, Smitty, real quick, what you just said is so sad. It needs to be changed. You don't need a degree to be on the school board.
Right?
You're in education and making decisions about our child's future, and everybody in the community needs to know this.
Absolutely.
How can you expect these children to move ahead if you ain't moved ahead? I don't think we have one person on our board with a PhD. Our
Well, hold
super.
on, hold on. To your point, Shannon, that is an outstanding point again, bruh. If you're school board, it doesn't matter what city you're in. You could be in Black USA, you can be in White USA, you can be in Asianville USA. I don't care. But if your school board has one law enforcement officer on there, who doesn't have any degree other than what he took to get on drive his little cop car around, that's a problem, because his notion, his ideology is of law enforcement. He has no understanding of education and its effect or lack thereof on Blacks or Asians or Latinos. To your point, Shannon, I agree with you. You should have some kind of level. There should be some kind of requirement to be there, because if you just have if you have the least racist, if you have the least racist guy that runs a barbershop
in a room full of racists,
right, that runs the barbershop, but he's on the school board, that's a problem. That's a problem.
You know what? Plain and simple. And I'll say this. You have people that sit on the school board and they think because they have a bachelor's degree that qualifies them. In my eyesight, if you really want to correct our education portal and stop this school to prison pipeline, you need actual people on there who have a profound amount of education. A PhD is not hard as people think it is to get. It's the amount of work and time that you're willing to put in to get it and
Shannon,
be precise with it.
Shannon, Troy,
yeah,
I'm gonna let you talk, man. Hold on. Because Shannon, again, always fucking lights the fire. Listen here, I'm gonna pose this to you guys. And I know we've been talking for a minute. I'm gonna pose this to you. Think about what I just said that makes up the school board. Just your run-of-the-mill people in the city, right? Because you have to live in the city to be on the school board, okay? Imagine, now, let's just keep it the way it is, where you don't need a degree to be on the school board. You just have to run campaign and they elect you. We don't know that as Black parents. I know there's 95% of us don't know that you can run and be selected to the school board. But imagine a school board that had someone who did 25 years, along with someone who works 3 jobs and has 3 kids and there's only one income in the house. Along on that school board, there's an immigrant who pays someone $2,500 to get them across the lines of the border and who struggled to start their own business. That's 3 people. Now imagine if there was one more person on there who actually gave a fuck about people, about children. You'd have 4 people on that school board with real life experiences. They wouldn't pass dumbass curriculums like read Shakespeare. Shakespeare didn't keep me, Shakespeare did not put, nor did it keep many Black folks from prison. Am I right or am I wrong? I'm just saying, if we had a real life school board on there with real life people, I think education would look totally different in your city. I'm just saying that.
It really would. And we don't need our government getting involved.
Exactly.
We don't need our government getting involved in the way we educate our kids.
Exactly.
A lot of our kids, especially our African American or Hispanic, they have lost their identity because of what the government portrays to our educators to teach as far as history.
I agree. Now, let's go into Shannon's, the degree part. I do agree. I agree with you on the aspect of we want our school board members to have some sort of advanced education. To the level of that can be up for debate. Because I talk to a lot of people with doctorates. I talk to a lot of people with masters, and I wouldn't trust them to teach my dog anything.
Absolutely.
I agree with you.
So yes, and we can agree upon that. So let's be careful when we say, well, a person should have a degree. A person should have, because that goes in direct conflict to what Smitty says. Because Smitty said, Smitty says that we need more of a grounded, well-rounded, people with experience in the community, other than
No,
people who
Troy,
just got
that's not
mad.
what that's not what I said. I said if we keep it the way it is right now,
Hmm.
then these folks would be useful and beneficial.
They would.
But
And
I do agree that they should have. I want them. Let me clear because you're right. Maybe not because you could have a doctorate in painting. But you don't know
Yes.
shit about math. You know what I'm saying? So maybe they don't need a certain level of degree in that, but they need to have some knowledge, some working fundamental knowledge.
You know what
of
though?
the education system.
There's one person who you said I think would be perfect. The dude who did 25,
He'd be the fucking.
but
He'd be the
then
fucking
hold on,
president of the board.
but then got out with his master's degree.
Say that.
Yeah.
Say that.
You see what I'm
And-
saying?
Yeah,
That
and you know what?
it may not be that exact person, but that gives you that balance
Mhm.
of someone who understands how the school system failed, how he redeemed himself
Mhm.
through his incarceration,
Mhm.
but now he has a different perspective. One of the biggest problems with a school board is the act of the perspective. You get all those people up on that school board who start to kind of look the same. You get those people who actually look at things, well, I understand that because I went through this, but they don't understand it when someone says, hold on, we have gone through this that you guys don't have a clue on, but once again, you get and try to tell us how to fix it.
Exactly.
And that's the
Go-
problem.
Hold on, let me just let me
right.
finish it. Let me just finish it. So it goes back again. One good thing that's been happening is districting. Now we can have things broken up. Now we can vote for who we really want to vote for. We don't have the people across town voting for who's going to run our schools on this side of town.
Districting works when districting is done right.
It's done right. And part of doing districting, getting done right, is for the people within those districts getting up and voting.
Let me ask you this, Troy. If you're
Go
gonna
ahead.
talk about districting, I'm not with districting.
Mhm.
I just don't stand. Districting is code for gerrymandering. So I'm gonna ask you this because they just had this discussion at City Council in Vacaville.
Mhm.
Constitutionally, when you go district, there has to be equal proportion of races so we can get a fair outcome. Well, they had several different maps of different districts when
Mhm.
it came to Vacaville.
Yeah.
All of them, because of the very nature of Vacaville, was predominantly white. You couldn't cut it up to make sure that there
No, you
was a
can't.
population of Asians or Blacks or Latinos or whatever. So how can you tell me that there's going to be fair representation or fair voting when you divide those districts up, no matter how they look? It's never going to be fair.
You know what the funny one thing about districting, and one of the reasons why I do like it, but I do see your point in it, because you can't break it up fairly if you going by the ethnic who's been ethnically represented in each district, because sometimes you're not going to have enough black people in one district, but then and sometimes you're going to have more black people than some white people want in their district.
But you know what? Because there was something you stated, Troy, and I agree with it. And not to get off that path, but there was a balance there to what Smitty was saying. A person that did 25 and now has a master's degree. There's a balance. But at the same time, while we're looking at that balance, and this goes and I can't speak for Fairfield or Vallejo because I haven't seen their school board makeup. I can't speak to, I can speak to Vacaville.
Well, actually, Fairfield is the only one I think that has 2 black men on their school board.
Okay, so I can speak.
Be careful.
Stop it.
Be careful. So I can speak to Vacaville.
Mm-hmm.
I can even speak to a lot of educators in Vacaville, and this has became a common problem. They constantly sit here and talk about, well, how do we help these students of color? the way you help these students of color is you stop hiring people who grew up in this cowtown. We know, and not one black person that works at the school district grew up here. Everybody that sits here on the school board, everybody in Vacaville damn near has a connection of growing up here in Vacaville, and that's the problem.
Oh,
That's a problem in itself because they don't know. They honestly, I'll speak. A lot of them don't have the experience as to what life is really about. You have an Air Force base, and I'll bring this back up. We have an ethnic studies teacher here who applauded herself and constantly applauded herself, you know, that this is what's needed. She knows this. She was in the Air Force. She's been in Germany. And I sit back and I don't forget what people say. Even though she made that comment, it pissed me off because I'm a black man who was in the army and who was in Germany. And I got treated better over there than I do here in the United States. So what can you tell me, being Hispanic, about what it's like to be black?
Well, and I think that's the caveat right there. No one can tell. We can't tell a Hispanic how it is to be Hispanic, although we have a closer connection. We can sympathize and empathize more. We can actually tell white people how it is to be white because it's the complete opposite of being black.
absolutely. You got everything.
Well, you have more access and you have more options
Hey, I want to
automatically.
we well over an hour, gentlemen, and I don't want to wear people out.
Yeah.
But I do want to say this.
Hold on, wait. Okay, just real quick. Let me just say this.
I'm not saying we got to end. I just want to say.
Okay, go ahead.
I think it's absolutely hilarious, and you can't make real life shit up. And the whole microaggression tactic bullshit that goes on with folks. I am the one black man that works at Vacaville School District. That is not a teacher. That is not.
But you didn't. But to Shannon's point, you didn't grow up here.
I didn't grow up here, but no, I know. But here's the hilarious part about I didn't grow up here. Most of the people that work there grew up here. They all know each other.
Oh, they grew up together.
Hold on. I want to make sure you guys understand where I'm going. So when I walk in to different schools or wherever I go into in this district, and I have my name badge on all the time.
You have to. You have to.
Why? That's my question, Troy. Why?
I know.
Motherfuckers know that they ain't no black person in this district.
But you still got to wear your badge.
I wear my hat my way. I wear my beard my way. I wear my clothes my way. Y'all all know me. But every time I go into a school, you want to say, "Oh, what's your badge say? What's your name?"
That's funny. Once again, privilege is real.
I'm just saying, fuck. I'm the only motherfucker here that looks totally different. One of these things ain't like the other. Come on.
They want to meet you. Hey,
that's funny.
They want to meet. They want to meet you at Starbucks.
Oh, you're stupid.
But again, that microaggression shit right there, like, you know.
Like,
you
really?
know what? You know what's sad? You know what's sad about?
Always looking at. Oh, you must be new.
You must
you
be
don't
new.
know. You must be new.
Oh, hold on, wait, no. I'm ending the show with this one. I went to Will C. Wood on Tuesday. I have been at Will C. Wood before. I know them. They know, well, I thought they knew me. I went there to visit the Black Student Union, which is run by a white woman.
What? Wait. Hold on. Repeat that again.
I'm gonna tell you, I went to visit the Black Student Union at Will C. Wood, but the Black Student Union is run by a white lady who never taught the students in the Black Student Union what the Black Student Union is about. So I had to do that. But anyway, you get me off track, Shannon. I walk up looking real real professional, I thought, right?
Looking real Smitty.
Looking extra Smith, right? And I'm walking towards the class. The room is B7. I'm at B10. There's two white teachers standing outside running amok, Troy. They're running amok.
Uh-huh.
So they stand there and they see me coming. The white man sees me coming, and he just looked at me and said, "Who you here to sub for?"
Wow. Well, I mean, at least he gave you credit for being a teacher.
Man,
I
no, and honestly,
That's funny.
I think that's something that our community needs to start speaking to, especially with our high schools all throughout the county. And I've noticed that our BSU programs, keyword BSU, Black Student Union, anything that's dealing with African American, new model should not have anybody white overseeing it or facilitating it, because you don't understand that the Black Student Union or any organization toward Blacks is a support group, a service to help educate, heal trauma. And only another Black man who has had lived life experiences
Or woman.
Black woman can do that. So instead of saying, well, we have this for our students of color and we're being equitable, hire a Black person and put them in complete charge of that.
First of all, I think you need to stop using the word equitable, because every time you say it, you get charged up.
Yeah, he does. No words.
A little bit. You get charged up.
It's because of what I said. It's because of what I said. When I hear white people talk about equity, and they keep confusing it, them wanting to be in charge of equity task force and shit. They keep doing what they've always done and putting us in a monetary value.
You're right. Well, I mean, we're chattel.
Yeah.
Still.
To this point, still.
The Board of Education, the state of California says, hey, we're going to give each school district $500,000 to deal with your chattel.
Yep.
Y'all make it happen. You know what? It's one. We're done. We're good for today.
We are done.
We're good.
So,
we're good. We're about 14
quick.
minutes over. We're good.
Yeah, real quick. Solution. Matter of fact, not even solution. Over the next couple of months, how do we impact change in our county?
I'm telling you, it's the easiest thing in the world. Get involved. No matter what that is. Like, we just got upset over the white lady teaching, heading up the BSU, which is hilarious. I can just see Maggie hanging out.
Maggie.
I'm giving her a benefit of the doubt that she's young.
That's some race. You got to be the least racist shit person in here, Troy.
The least. So, but I mean, we have to and understand that if we have the time, then we should also be volunteering. We should just go in for 2 hours, an hour every day to a BSU school, a school. First of all, I want to applaud, strangely, Wilsey Wood for even having one. So there's that. But let's go beyond that now. Let's progress beyond that. Yes, we got it. Now what we're going to do with it. And just to get really quickly back to what we were talking about before, Smitty, about the districting. The biggest thing, having a district and not having a district, the one thing that they do have in common is that they need people to get out and vote.
Correct.
Because that's the only way. When they say a district works, that's because people are out there voting.
Absolutely.
And they can quantify votes easier. I don't like, not having a district is a problem because we have people who don't vote, but will complain about other people dictating what happens to them because they don't get involved. That's the main thing. We need involvement. And then we can go on from there. We can start fixing things. We can fix our equity issues. We can fix the fact that there's an equity board. There is 2 or 3 Black people on there at a minimum, just for the simple fact that you're talking about us.
Right.
like you said earlier, we need to be involved, not just voting also, but running.
That we do. And to Troy's point, because, and I know Smitty already knows, even though it's going on, it's taking place here in Vacaville right now, it will affect all of Solano County. Our people
will.
need to be involved when it comes. They
Oh,
are trying.
I'm sorry.
They are trying to push us completely out with all these new housing developments that they're building that no one can afford.
What I just said goes throughout the country.
Yeah.
It's not a Solano thing. It's a nationwide thing.
My solution, and I'm gonna be done with y'all. See, before I didn't have a grandson, so I could have stayed on here for 3 hours. I told y'all I'm in his room. He's knocking at the door. He wants his room back.
He wants his room back. You playing around?
I'm all up in here. Coco Melon on the TV. Look here, solution, and I'm about to be real 1,000 because everybody want to be pro-black till it's time to be pro-black. My solution, and I challenge you, good bros, and everybody else that's listening and I'm not asking forever. I'm asking for the month of March. You only got a couple days left, 30 or 20 or so. I'm asking you, be careful of the word boycott. This is not a boycott. Boycott brings bad word, negative connotations to it. I'm asking you to choose to buy black. That's what I'm asking you to do for the month of March. My last couple of purchases have been black-owned businesses, shirts, or what have you. If I could buy some black-owned shoes, I would. I don't like Yeezys. They ugly. But if somebody else has some things, Troy will tell you, I bought some black Pumas that support the Black 5. If you don't know about the Black 5, go get them.
Look it up. Look it up right now.
Everything I've been purchasing lately is black-owned made, okay? So I'm challenging you. Don't go to Lucky's. Don't go to Safeway. Don't go to Piggly Wiggly. Go to that black-owned store. Go to that Asian-owned store. I know there's confrontation there. I understand. But I'd rather give my money to this Asian folks or these Hindu folks or these Latin folks instead of giving it to these corporations that don't give a shit about you and that dollar don't come back. Shannon will tell you, and you guys already know this, we know that the black dollar only stays in our community for 6 fucking days, where it stays in the white and Latino and the Asian communities for 20 plus days. That's a problem. I'm challenging you for just the rest of the month of March. You want a solution? Our money is power. Our money is power. Buy black, buy local, buy small, or fuck it, don't buy at all.
All right. So there's, Smitty. But you do have a strong point. Hey, we want to thank y'all again hanging out with us. We're back. Same old us. Little bit. No, a better version of us. All of us. Better version, which is a problem for most of y'all. But we're gonna be doing this. We're gonna do this every 2 weeks.
We're going
every
2 weeks.
Two times a month. And then, but once again, check us out. We're gonna have the new Facebook page coming up. We're gonna have the new Instagram coming up, the Twit. So you'll be able to get to us any way you want to. And please give us suggestions. Tell us people you want us to have on the show. It'll be fun. If you think somebody can sit here with us for 30 minutes,
right.
Good luck. But hey, yes, thank you, Shannon, for pushing us to get this back together, bruh. I definitely appreciate it.
It was awesome being back with you fellas, man. I love y'all. We out.
We out.
Yeah.
Love you guys. Take it easy.